In recent weeks, the Caribbean Sea has become a focal point of escalating tensions between the United States and Venezuela. The situation has grown increasingly precarious as U.S. warships and Venezuelan military forces have found themselves in close proximity, raising alarms about the potential for conflict and significant regional instability. The catalyst for this maritime standoff is rooted in a complex mixture of military posturing and geopolitical maneuvering. President Nicolás Maduro of Venezuela has been vocally critical of U.S. military operations in the region, describing them as an infringement on his nation's sovereignty. In response to the heightened U.S. naval presence under the banner of counter-narcotics operations, Maduro has mobilized troops, deploying warships and drones along Venezuela's coast. This display of military might aims to assert national sovereignty and signal to the U.S. that Venezuela stands ready to defend itself against perceived threats.
Washington's rationale for its increased military presence hinges on its ongoing war on drugs, particularly in the Caribbean and Latin America, which it claims has a substantial impact on U.S. security. The U.S. has cited a need to counter drug smuggling routes that run through the region, arguing that monitoring the maritime space is essential for maintaining security. Yet many observers question the legitimacy of this justification, suggesting it might be a pretext for wider geopolitical ambitions in a region historically influenced by American foreign policy. As the standoff unfolds, it's crucial to examine the implications for U.S.-Venezuela relations. What was once a relationship marked by oil dependencies and economic ties has devolved into one characterized by hostility and mistrust. The potential for a military clash raises concerns not only for bilateral relations between these two nations, but also for regional stability in an area already marked by social and political volatility. The consequences of military confrontations could ripple throughout the Caribbean, affecting neighboring countries and potentially igniting broader regional conflicts.
In addition to military concerns, the standoff underscores the ideological divide between the U.S. and Venezuela. The current Venezuelan government, facing domestic economic crises and mounting pressure from the international community, has positioned itself as a bulwark against perceived U.S. imperialism. Maduro's administration has skillfully utilized nationalistic sentiments to consolidate power, portraying the U.S. as a central adversary, thus rallying support domestically despite economic hardships. On the diplomatic front, the tensions present a significant challenge for both nations. While the U.S. continues to apply pressure through sanctions and military shows of force, the Maduro government seeks to preserve its sovereignty and resist external influence. The stalemate may compel both sides to reconsider their strategies, whether through aggressive posturing or diplomatic engagements.
The potential for miscalculation in this tense standoff cannot be overlooked. In an era where communication channels can be limited or misinterpreted, the likelihood of unintentional skirmishes rises, especially when military forces are involved. As such, both nations would do well to pursue avenues for dialogue and resolution, rather than further entrenchment into a path of confrontational engagement. In conclusion, the unfolding naval standoff between the U.S. and Venezuela is a stark reminder of how fragile international relations can be, especially when intertwined with national interests, ideological divides, and military posturing. The world's eyes are on the Caribbean, waiting to see if diplomacy can prevail over the siren call of conflict, or if this situation will escalate further with worrying implications for both nations and the region.